Hello everybody, I'm iEgg.ado and welcome to Goof Troop Central. Welcome to Goofy Review Friday, and today we're going to be reviewing Witch. Now, first off, we're just going to read the description real quick just to see what this game is all about. First up, it was created by Mike Neal. It was created in January 1st, 2010. Description is a short game where you look for a way to open the door out of the small house. That's the description. Okay. That is the best description I ever read. Alright then. So I guess we're going to get started on the review. So as you all know, we're going to be reviewing gameplay, immersion, graphics, story, jump scares, music and ambience, environment, and the conclusion of this amazing game. As you can already tell, I enjoyed this game when I first played it until I was confused. So here we go. Let's get started on the first part of this review. We're going to be talking about the gameplay. Gameplay wise, it was solid. Moved around, not too many bugs, not too many issues. Moved around, searched for keys, and the game made it very simple of how to play. You moved around with W, A, S, and D. The game literally showed you how to pick up objects, open cabinets, so it made it clear. It was like a tutorial inside the game, and they did it in a way where you could literally just look at the wall and it just like magically appears. And I like that style of how they did that. It was really unique because you don't see that often in games really, but it was pretty good how they did that. The gameplay, basically you just open doors, but you're just searching for like keys, but you do these little puzzles and stuff, and they can be a little tricky at times. So for the gameplay, it wasn't too bad. Not bad at all. So, time to move on to the next part. Immersion. Well, did I feel immersed in the game? Well, answer, yes. I did feel very immersed in the game. I didn't feel too immersed in the game because there wasn't really too much to be immersed in the game. But, I mean, all you're doing is being stuck in the house and walking around. And there wasn't really any ambience or too many noises inside in the game itself that made it super massively immersive. But it was the fact that you were trapped in this house and just trying to figure out how to get out that made it immersive. And I kind of like that. So, guess we're going to move on to the next part, which is going to be graphics. I love the graphics of this game. I adore the graphics of this game. It's got that it's black and white, which you don't see many games have, except for like one game that I've played called Limbo, which was pretty good in that style. But the graphics are actually really good. I don't know if they're too bad, but when I've seen the model of like the lady, it looked pretty good. It looked very decent. There were no real bugs in the game either. The whole place just had that very mysterious touch to it. Just wondering what's going on, why are you here, that sort of thing. So, the graphics, not too bad. Not too much more they could have even done with the graphics because there wasn't too much to go by, which is a little down. The game was a little too short. But besides that, graphics, I liked it. I liked the whole style, the art style of this game. Alright, time to move to the next part, the story. Now, this is when things get a little heartbreak. The story involves you and another person trapped in this house. You're helping this person who you find while also searching for keys on opening locked doors, trying to find a way to escape. And we're not really sure what this house is about, why you're trapped in this house with this person who is headless and also heartless and trying to help her figure out how to get out. It was slightly confusing at that way, but I like that. It made it very, unique in that manner. So you're just like wandering, and all of a sudden, once you finally make the choice of giving back her heart or head, well, it's got two endings, because there can only be one. Only one is allowed free. Who will live? Who will die? Depends on your choices for the head or the heart. Because the girl is your ticket to freedom or death. And that's basically the story, because once either you die or leave, and who knows what happens after that. There's no real conclusion on what happens once you leave, but You know, I don't really think this game needs a conclusion, because basically I'll just call this game art than anything right now. Alright, now we talked about story, time to go to jump scares. There were not really any jump scares. Yeah, there weren't really any jump scares at all. I mean, basically the only jump scares happened like at the end, which are felt more like emotional than anything, depending on your choice. But there weren't really any jump scares. Like, the only thing that the lady did was kind of like jump behind you and make you glitch. But besides that, it wasn't really scary. It just like, you're here trying to figure out how to escape with this strange lady following you around. It's a little weird, but it was interesting, and that's why I enjoyed playing it, because of that sort of reason. So yeah, jump scares, none. Yeah, there weren't any jump scares. So guess I'm just gonna scratch that off for a bit. Alright, there we go. Time to go to music and ambience. I already told you that there wasn't actually any music at all in the game. Not one bit of music whatsoever in this game. The whole thing consists of not even ambience, just noise apparently. Like footsteps, keys that you find and pick up, and maybe a few stabbing noises. But besides that, there wasn't really too much to it when it came to music and ambience. But I think that made it a lot more realistic if you think about it, making it feel like you really were like trapped in it. Which goes back to the immersion part of the game that made it kind of have that realistic style. And I think the other reason why I like this graphics of the game, going back even further, is because that it kind of reminds me of the style of how Mirror's Edge sort of looked. You know, kind of like a smoothish, weird, kind of like a sci-fi-ish kind of style, but very interesting in its own perception. Alright, so we've talked about that. So, time to move on to the environment. There's not too much to go about with the environment either, because again, you're still trapped in a house, trying to figure out how to get out, finding keys. I know this kind of sounds boring when you think about it, but it's really not when you play it. It's not boring when you play it. The environment actually is very good. Yes, it can be confusing actually too, but I mean, there really wasn't too much to go with the environment. The environment was just the environment. It was a house. You're searching around the house, getting keys, trying to help this lady. That's basically the environment. There's not much I can say. Sorry there isn't much I can say. I really wish I could say more, but yeah. Even the own creator for his description couldn't even say much more. So kind of ironic there. Alright guys. It's finally came down to the conclusion. So, the conclusion of the game. You've heard what I've said so far. Locked in the house, helping a lady, finding the keys, and deciding your fate. And so, what I will give this game, also being short as well, and sometimes confusing, just looking around for like the keys and stuff was kind of confusing. And some of the puzzles, they weren't actually hard. It's just, everything kind of like blended together with the gray. Which, I mean, most people would probably complain about that sort of thing. But to me, I kind of like that. Because, I mean, like I said, it made sure that it was, again, more realistic in that perspective. So, here we go. The conclusion of this work of art will be... Oh, it's a hard one. I'm really thinking really hard right now because I really don't want to give it a too bad of a rating, but I don't know if I should give it that great of a rating. So I'm thinking either you know what? I'm going to give this game a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10, or maybe even an 8 out of 10, depending of your likings. So, yeah, it's a very good game. It's above average. I recommend anyone play it just to get the emotional aesthetics of how things turn out, depending on your conclusion, where you choose the heart or the head. And it really can't, it's very short when you know what to do, but when you don't know what to do, it can be very confusing at times, and I don't really mind that as much. It actually lengthens the whole game itself, though the story of how this really happened is still unknown. I don't really think a story is even needed, because in the end, which is going to leave? So yeah, that was my review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be doing other ones soon enough, and I'll try to be a little more in-depth as well on why I enjoy certain games and why I don't enjoy certain games. I need to fix that. But don't worry, it's honest. You will enjoy this game. You should play this game. If you want, it's free in the description below from Game Jolt. So yeah, give it a try. I hope you liked the review, and yeah, if you guys enjoyed this episode, remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, your family, your pets, your gods, everyone you love, everyone you know about. And remember to stay goofy, and I'll see you next time. Bye!